Hey guys, this is Chris Tyson from Christian Piano. Just another question was, is it ever okay to leave um, your church? Um, and that's very rarely. Um, you know, God has called you to be a part of a specific local church. Um, and to not leave from there unless told otherwise. You know, John MacArthur uh, is a Bible teacher, and he talked about uh, time in the past. I'm not sure how many hundreds of years ago, but churches would send a letter to another church if someone was leaving, basically saying this person, uh, left on their own will. It was a disgraceful act of abandoning their church. So to show you how serious God takes your faithfulness to the church He's placed you at. So there are some churches today that are not obeying God. You know, things such as, they have women pastors, they're supporting gay rights, they have a pride flag, they're supporting abortion, if they're not recognizing Christ as God and as the only way to salvation. So many of all these reasons, would not be a biblically sound church obeying God. And if you're in a church that's not following that, pray to God, is this something He wants you to, it is something He wants you to address with the leadership. Pray for fearlessness to fight for your church, to talk to your, church leaders, to say, hey, these are not obeying God. These are against His word and His will. So I think we're called to fight for our church. So many times we have one thing go wrong, one small thing, one misunderstanding, and we just leave. And it's shameful. It's cowardly. You don't run away from your church. This is why churches get corrupt, because people run away from conflict. They don't face what needs to be addressed. There's people in churches today, believers who have animosity towards each other because of something that happened years ago that they never just talked it out. So don't run from the problems. Run to God and face it. Run to your leadership. Run to these people that you have these disagreements with, and save yourself so much suffering and bitterness. Just on a side note, there should be no bitterness in your heart towards anyone. That'll destroy you. You shouldn't have hatred in your heart towards anyone. And I would say, pray to God to help resolve any relationships in your life that have bitterness or hatred today, immediately, because you're not going to walk in obedience to God if you're harboring this resentment, bitterness. The word says, before you give your offering to God, if you have something wrong with your brother, go and make peace with them first. So God's saying, before you even, do anything after this video, go and resolve that relationship. No matter how long ago it was, if it's burdening your heart still, you need to resolve it today, and pray to God for the opportunity to do so, and yeah, but yeah, if so I would address these things with your church, address, where things are not in obedience to God's will, and fight for your church. God's called you to watch this, to for a purpose beyond my understanding. Times we stumble on things, and that's our own will. So I can't say God's always calling you to watch this, but if you're in a church that's not sound, please fight for your church. Don't run away. Let God use you to be a catalyst to restore your church to true obedience. So that's my urging to you. Do not shrink back. Do not give up hope on your church. God can do miracles in any situation, including your church. So let God use you as you pray to Him. Say, God, use me in any way you need to do your will. For the sake of my church, for the sake of your calling on my life, please, Lord, help me. Help me obey you in all that you call me to do. There's always hope. Trust God through and be faithful. Now, after a long time, if you have prayed and talked with the leadership and they're still not budging, they're still saying that they want to continue with lying to themselves, lying to God, then in that situation, it might be time to leave that church and find a biblically sound church. So, and pray to God what church He would need you to switch to. So, seek God's advice.